Is it running? Okay. My name is Martin Schweiger. Hello. Good day. Today is the 13th of March 2025. This is a Thursday. Yeah, you know, I'm a patent attorney and I'm also a powerlifter. And what you see now, today is my gym. I'm just done with a strength training, which I do 2 to 3 times per week. And now I walk to a nearby restaurant and I have dinner there. And I will today share something very unique, I believe, with you, because today I talk about doping. Doping, you know, weightlifting, as all sports, has doping. But yeah, I have to tell you a lot. But let me first get out on the street level so that I can talk. My local microphone is not working, so I need to speak louder, and I can only do so outside. Now get quiet through my gym, and then you can see what is going on. Okay, bye. Bye. Bye, Victor.
Bye.
Bye, Mom. Okay, now I'm on the street level, and I walk over to my racetrack, which is just that direction, 300 meters. So, you have heard it. Today I talk about doping. I'm not sure whether this is the first time in my entire vlog or whether there was 1 or 2 episodes before. Maybe in connection with the competition in January, now February. Yeah, like maybe more than many other sports, lifting weights is a fertile ground for doping. And I'm doing sports since I'm very young. Now more than almost, I would say, competitive sports. I'm into competitive sports since 50 years at least. Maybe probably more. I'm 60. I don't even know when I started. I can't tell. Anyway, and I was a member of national team before. I was playing Olympic handball, and today I'm a member of another national team, the one for powerlifting in Singapore. It's for the 2nd time in a row, and I was number 4 of the world rank list at age 58 or so, and yeah, I've seen a lot of things in sports. A lot. It's quite interesting, by the way. In the background there is a funeral here. Maybe I go there and let you have a sneak peek, because it's public, and if you don't disturb, then should not be a problem if you look at it from far. Quite interesting what you see. I don't think that as a tourist in Singapore you would easily find places like that. Yeah, I can walk here through, and then I give you in a turn a view What is going on here? This is a big funeral. Look. We don't want to disturb. Now here you can see more. There's the deceased is behind these curtains, protected from us viewers. So that's how funeral among the Chinese population in Singapore is done. Back to doping. The reason why this comes up now is twofold. Number one, as I told you, I'm a member of the national team in Singapore in powerlifting again. After my last success in the national championship, where I set four national records, and that qualified me for being invited. I'm very grateful to the next national competition international competition, APEC, in July 2025 in Japan, near Kobe or Osaka. So as such, I had to renew my WADA certificate. I believe ADL. WADA means World Anti-Doping Agency or similar. I don't know. And ADL is this whatever certificate. It's valid for 2 years, and it takes you a few hours for taking an online course. That comes with a few tests, all online. Not difficult, just cumbersome and long. I completed that one on Tuesday, I believe, or Wednesday, Tuesday, I believe. I put it on my LinkedIn certificates list because I think I've learned a few things from taking that course again. So that's the one thing. The other thing is, on Tuesday night, I met an acquaintance of mine for dinner, and I know that he has been taking testosterone shots. I mean injections with testosterone, which is a hormone, a male hormone. And from my recall, he took a lot, something like, because he got the hormone himself and injects him himself. So that was just the day before yesterday, and I talked with him. So, and this is the second occasion. So, but before I start, I need to share something with you. It's like a secret in my life that not many know. Actually, very, very few. It's a tragic secret. I lost a youth friend because of doping. He committed suicide at age 40-ish, I would say. I forgot. I was even his best man in the marriage. And when I was a child, my parents divorced and I didn't have a real family life. Although my parents tried to simulate something like that. I was age 11 or so when they divorced. And they tried to do the best to play family, but without the other part being present. So anyway, I was taken up into my friend's family like a foster child for several years. And I spent all my time there. They had a shop for electronics, home electronics, washing machines, vinyl records, and other stuff. So I spent my weekends there. I spent my time after school there. I spent all my time there. I worked in the shop. I did everything. And then somehow our trails split. He was sent to a boarding school and I stayed where we were, and I went to the local school. I had quite a good youth. I believe he also, but he only came back during weekends. And he was always smaller than me, like something like until here. And when I remember, I was always quite a sporty appearance, if you say that. I'm not sure. A bit burly maybe, but a good athlete. And he also could have been a good athlete, but shorter, but for sports. But he went into bodybuilding. And I also tried bodybuilding for a time, but I found it quite boring. And I rather did other stuff like handball, soccer, wrestling. Actually, I was a freestyle wrestler for some time in my life, quite cool. And he always, I don't know, it was a bit like he tried to imitate that. And at one point in time, I saw him, and this was not a natural growth. So what I found out later, he has bought those hormones that came from the Eastern Europe, and they were won from dead bodies. The Hypophyse, Hirnanhangsdrüse, hypophysis, whatever, is a gland, sits in the back of your head, and they were won in a mechanical way by cutting this gland out of the dead bodies, then blending them and squeezing the liquid out of that, and then these people injected, like my late friend, they injected that, and that caused abnormal growth, plus heavy training, and so on and so on. And later, I believe that number one, that's something damaging, definitely, because not only get you the hormones, but also all the diseases of those diseased people that sit somehow in this liquid. And I believe it's also something demonic. I believe in supernatural things, and I believe that if you have that part of the brain, it's something that is not, is a dark matter. And so what he did is before he committed suicide, he called me to help him. And there was a problem with his family, his parents. And somehow they disinherited him. And then suddenly his mother and his sister disappeared, and again later the lower jaw, a part of the lower jaw of his sister was found in a river in my hometown. I forgot to say that a year before, his father hanged himself, and he left a letter, and my late friend found him, and he took his letter and let it disappear. That's what witnesses told me, who were also there. So what police told me, because I was then also asked about the story, was that they suspected him to have killed at least the sister and I believe I don't tell you more. It's good enough. What I believe is that this is an outcome of doping. And I found that so shocking that whenever I hear doping or someone tries to enhance his performance in sports, I really get a cold shiver down my spine. And I don't recommend doping. I rather would not want to perform better than taking any such substance. That is not food. That's where I'm coming from. So, I believe it's good reason to believe that I'm not promoting doping. That is linked with the WADA test, the World Anti-Doping Agency test that I took, because doping is what I learned a few most important things. I mean, you learn a lot of things, like how the doping tests are done, and if you're an athlete and you're under surveillance, that you need to be present when they expect you to do so, and there's almost no reason to refuse being present or not giving a sample, a blood sample or urine sample or whatever. So yes, and they don't even need a reason to test you. And there's also, what I learned, a strict liability. That's for us common lawyers a bit unexpected, I would say, because there must an element of guilt, of intent for being criminally liable under German law, but not so for some offenses under common law especially, and also in the anti-doping world. Strict liability means if you're found with a doping substance in your blood and there's no exemption for you to have that substance in your blood, then you have committed an offense, and that comes with being banned and maybe, I don't know, some other penalty or so. But being banned for 4 years means that you can actually prepare for another life in sports, because 4 years is a long time for an athlete. And then you always carry the mark of someone who was caught for doping. You don't want that. So that's one thing I learned. There's no justification unless you have a good reason to have that substance in your blood. And the second thing is, most athletes are caught because they have taken a supplement. A supplement is something like a health supplement. It's a condensed form of a food, mostly, and not synthetic, but not always. And those supplements sometimes are contaminated with a forbidden substance. And yeah, you take that supplement and then you have it. And the best is therefore to have all the supplements that you take with you at the competition, so that you can hand over samples of those supplements and try to provide evidence that you had committed that offense unintentionally, and then they may punish you less hard. Important teaching. And another teaching is to check each and every supplement whether there's a forbidden substance inside according to the label. And there's a database online and you can check that. And for me that comes in handily because following my TCM doctor, I'm now getting slow because here's my dinner restaurant here. So, and I do some circles, so I walk you around. Maybe I walk around and do a longer turn around the building. That building, by the way, is a church. I go there. Cornerstone, Singapore. So, my TCM doctor says, never take more than 5 supplements. And I would add, only take supplements that come as pure supplements, which means with only one ingredient. And stay away from those mixed supplements, because then there's a chance of contamination is much higher. These multivitamin things, you don't really need them. Oh, nice car. Nice. So, I believe these are the most important rules for supplements. But I was surprised because the WADA test or online course also says that you should stay away from all supplements and rather go for food that would help you with the same thing. And I can really attest to that because I have now more than 1 year of self-treatment of a metabolic syndrome behind me, and I've taken supplements and I've taken food, and I believe I'm pretty healed now, quite okay. Not everything 100%, but 80% good and getting better. So For example, I give you an example where you can replace a supplement by foodstuff. It's about substances that help the body to produce nitric oxide. Nitric oxide is a very important substance for the metabolism. It's produced in healthy bodies in some liners of the arteries. And if you're old, or if your arteries are damaged by a metabolic disorder like diabetes, then you can take supplements like synthetic ones like L-citrulline or L-arginine, and that would bring your nitric oxide levels up. You can or cannot measure those with a test strip and your saliva in the mouth, and that will tell you whether or not you have enough nitric oxide. And that, in my case, has a direct impact on my blood pressure, because if the nitric oxide level is high, then my blood pressure is good. If my nitric oxide level is low, then I need to regulate my blood pressure with relaxation exercises, and that sometimes works and sometimes not. And if I stop the exercise, then my blood pressure is back to whatever. Much easier if I support my nitric oxide levels by food or supplements. And now I discovered that you have so many ways to increase the nitric oxide in my blood, in my saliva, by eating, I would call it in general, red fruits and vegetables. That's beetroot, for example, then spinach, and in the spinach, the red spinach. Is it working now? Well, again, I got a call, so there is a interruption in the video. Normally I don't cut videos, so I leave it here. So red spinach would work, but also some red fruits like pomegranate, and also, I believe, I've never measured it, but I should work the skin of red onions. I'm not sure, but just to give you an idea. For me, spinach, beetroot, pomegranate work for the blood pressure. And I believe that applies to all supplements. You can get certain blood values up by eating the right food. And the ADL test at one point in time highlights that. So that's a very important teaching, and for now I have several reasons to support that initiative. Now back to my acquaintance, the one with the testosterone. I believe I walk you through here. It goes down to a basement, and then I show you a bit. This is like Singapore 30 years ago. You will not find that easily anymore. Except here. There's a food court here, very old and empty. Then there's a restaurant here. So what he did is he took testosterone. And for better explanation, at one point in time, immediately after my metabolic syndrome was discovered, 1 year and 3 months again, 1 year and 3 months ago, the doctor, because my testosterone level was also very low, something like 7 points, where it should be at least 12, the doctor decided to give me a testosterone injection, which I took. And then he told me that I should come back in 3 months. I should come back in 3 months' time to get the fill-up. And then I thought, no, not with me. So I studied a lot about metabolism, and I found out that there are ways to increase your testosterone level in a natural way, which I did. It's all about metabolic health. And so I believe I almost doubled my testosterone level to 14 or 15 or 16, something like that. Massage. This is quite a famous place. So I saw my acquaintance yesterday, and I told him that. I asked him, how about your testosterone level? Nice fishies. So nice. And then he said that he unintentionally took far too much of it. And he stopped it now. And I mean, that's what I say for a long time. You shouldn't take any supplement without knowing what you do by measurement. And that prevents you from getting damaged by doing what you think is healthy when it's not. Let me walk inside. Thank you. Tattoo studio. Yeah. Wow, that's big. I've never seen that one. I have never been here before, but that's a very big food court. It looks good. So, and I've seen the same thing with other supplements. You can oversupply almost everything. Vitamin D, for example, which leads to calcifications. Then, so really the core is, before taking any supplement, measure what you do. And I believe that's also the reason why some athletes are caught doping, because they're taking some supplement because someone has told them that taking that supplement would give you a certain effect in training, improve or whatever, and then they take it for a long time and they wouldn't even know whether it helps, because you just take the supplement and then hope that it would work, but it's really not good. Like that applies to everything. So And that's also the reason why I stopped. Taking my own supplements when I don't need them anymore. For example, I took vitamin D to get out of a very deep hole because I had far too less vitamin D, and I took it until I hit the threshold. I had a measurement, so I stopped, and then this is when I stopped taking vitamin D at all. And I don't really see a reason why I would continuously take vitamin D until a measurement tells me there's not enough. And once a year I measure vitamin D. And what I know is that the liver has enough supply of vitamins for 6 months. So if I'm a little bit low on vitamin D, then it doesn't really hurt because there's still enough, and I would see it early enough to start again. Oh, there's another food court. Just as nice as the other one. So. So that explains to me what happens in doping. So for my own case, what I do is the supplements that I take is magnesium because I have a measured deficiency. Then I take zinc, and together with the zinc I have to take copper, is measured. And then I'm currently about improving my lipid panel. So apart from losing weight, I also take omega-3, which is fish oil essentially. It's squeezed fish from fish species that live free and eat plants. And that's more or less about it. Then I, of course, not counted the herbs and teas that I drink, but there's nothing that I really overdose. What I eat on a regular basis is curcumin, which is turmeric. And the turmeric, when you eat turmeric, you need piperine, which is the black pepper, and also some oil. And the oil comes in avocados, which are healthy food. And then I also have olive oil, cold pressed olive oil, or cold pressed coconut oil. That's so far for the fats. And that fat and that piperine is needed to better absorb the turmeric, the curcumin. That I take in order to reduce the inflammation level in my body. And then I have, of course, the amla for vitamin C, and fenugreek seeds soaked in water. Plus quinoa seeds cooked. Plus, I don't know, a few other seeds, nuts. And the funny thing is, when you analyze all this and you deliberately eat this healthy food, which comes without label, by the way, they don't need label because it's a food stuff, you just have the same as with your supplements. Except, I must say, there are reasons why you take supplements, but then that is limited to a few months, because as my TCM doctor says, the few months is the maximum you should take a medication. And for TCM doctors, food supplements are medication. So yes, the doping test is right to emphasize on supplements. And as I said before, one of the side information of taking the test or the course for the test was that most athletes that are caught for doping are not caught because they take a substance that is forbidden, but the forbidden substance was contained in some supplement and they were not aware that this is a forbidden or substance, that the substance was there. But again, strict liability means if you're caught with that thing in your blood or urine, then you're liable for that. So it's another reason to not take supplements, or as little supplements as possible. That also applies to essential oils, I must say, because then I have seen an example in that course material where there was cannabis oil, and that has a substance that can be measured in your blood, and even if it doesn't work as a drug, but it's still there and it can be measured in your urine, and it's a forbidden substance, and you may not want the outcome of that doping test. And by the way, that also may explain why all the athletes that I've talked with so far, they are so scared about doping tests. I thought it would be an honor to take a doping test and then be confirmed with a certificate that everything is in order. You have not taken doping also, because that would then say or testify for being clean and that the method works. But still, these athletes are really scared like hell of being tested. Of course, if you compete, then you must live with that, because you can only compete when you allow these samples to be taken. Again, what I wanted to say is I'm now 3 times more careful as before with the supplements. And again, I believe if you find a way to measure whether supplements work or not, and you decide to only take it when you have proof that it works somehow, that's the best. Because then you leave away those supplements that don't work. And the best, again, very best, go for food stuff and try to achieve the same with food. And I will give you more examples of that as I come across them. There are some substances that are free substances, and people that lift weights take them on a regular basis, hoping that they improve their weights, the weights lifted. And I believe that may apply, but you should only take those for the competition and not for your daily training, unless again it's a food stuff and not synthetic. So I believe I'm through for my doping. I'm also thinking of leaving the comment section open, and I would like to refer you to my GPT that I've trained. The link is also below in the description. You can also ask questions about doping, and I encourage you to do so. Okay? Thanks and goodbye. Is it running? Okay. Okay, this is my favorite Italian restaurant in Singapore. And there's Jihan here. Very shy. Okay, I just had a very nice fish soup, the best fish soup ever. Bye-bye. Bye-bye, thank you. Okay. So I finished early. Here we have the boss. Hello. Hello. Okay, Peppo, thank you so much. I will update you. Okay. Bye-bye. So Yeah, every now and then I reward myself with a very nice Italian fish soup. Ah wait, I need to show you something. This is the WADA food. This is a... Hello. Yeah, it's a sake bar. And recommended. And then so good. That is part of social life. As you age, I really got moved before when I told you about my insights about doping. As you may understand. So I forgot the main thing, because today week 1 of week 24 is over. My weight loss program, 12 kg, and it's meant to be fat loss mainly. Oh, I thought that somebody wants to assault me, but they're just doing a workout. So I'm looking at losing mostly visceral fat and probably also some 2 kg muscle mass. That gives 12 kg, because you cannot lose fat alone, is impossible. And as I lose muscle mass, also my strength may go down a bit, because it's all about building up muscle mass in order to become stronger. And I promised you that I'm doing now my bathroom scales measurements on a weekly basis, and yeah, so I did this morning. My original goal was to do the bathroom scales measurement immediately after breaking my dry fast on Wednesday, because I do that every Wednesday, but it's not practical to do so. So what I do is I do my extended bathroom scales measurement every Thursday morning, and I have already the result after 1 week. And this morning, today Thursday the 13th of March 2025, my body weight as compared with last week was down by 600 grams. So last week my body weight on Thursday morning was 106.6 kg, and today in the morning it was 106.0 kg.
I honestly thought that you were going to come here and then tell them. That's why I tell you no.
So yeah, overall my goal is achieved. I'm half a kg lighter, more lightweight than last week. I could go lower, as low as 102 point something kg, but then that would require to deplete my glycogen, to deplete my gut from fibers, to deplete my blood from water via sweating. yeah, and also, of course, to deplete my fat by converting it into triglycerides and then convert those in the liver into ketones. By the way, I just have received my 2 other ketone measurement methods. One is a breath analyzer, which is tricky in its way. I need to explain to you. And also I have a finger prick ketone tester, which is like a blood glucose tester, but it comes with ketone measurement strips. Interesting. So yesterday when I was in full ketonic mode, the ketones breath analyzer delivered me values between 21 and 27, and the finger prick measurement tool delivered me a value of 1.0, and I believe is something like millimole per liters, which is a fraction of the blood glucose measured in the same unit. So my plan is to compare these measurement methods over the coming week. Today when I came home from a very nice lunch at the local German Chamber of Commerce, my ketone level was down to 0.1. Was it millimole per liter? Maybe 0.1. When yesterday it was 10 times higher. And the breath analyzer gave me a value of half of what I measured yesterday. I believe some 13 or 11, I don't recall, but it's not linear. It's not 10%, like 2.1 or 2.7 of the values of yesterday. No, yesterday my blood ketones was 21 to 27, and 10% of that today would be 2.1 to 2.7. And the finger, for the finger prick, no. This was for the breath, and the finger prick yesterday was 1.0, above something 0.9, 1.0, and today it was 0.1. So the breath analyzer, it didn't go down by 10%, but maybe by half only. What I'm doing here is what we measurement engineers call calibration. Of course, the more convenient way to measure ketones, the most convenient one would be, and the cheapest one would be, taking the urine strips. But for some reason that doesn't work for my body anymore. I assume that's because my body became too smart. So when I switch from glucose burning to ketones burning, the body would only provide so much triglycerides from the fat cells that the ketone production is enough for supplying the cells with energy when no glucose is present. And in the old times when I started this, the body produced so many ketones, or so much ketone level, that it spilled over into the urine. And these times are over, I believe. So my body learned how to cope with this. The second most convenient method of measuring ketones in the body is the breath analyzer. But the breath analyzer itself comes with a very long manual telling me that analyzing ketones in the breath is not straightforward. The more accurate one probably is this finger prick blood measurement, but it's also quite expensive. So one measurement costs about $1 or so. So I would say I'm using the finger prick tool for learning how to estimate my ketone production in the breath. And then once I've learned that one, by calibrating it, I would use the breath analyzer only and just use the finger prick method with the blood every now and then, just to verify. Actually, this is how I do my continuous glucose meter measurements. I handle it the same way. There are also offsets, and so yeah, so the continuous blood glucose meter is not precise, less precise than the finger prick one. So, but ultimately it's really not very important. The question is your body in ketonic mode or not? And if yes, it means that your fasting is okay, and you've done the right thing to switch the body from one fuel to another one. So yeah, I will continue that. Now to the measurements with my bathroom scale. It's got bathroom scales. I will never learn why in English some items, like a bathroom scales, is in plural, because scales, the S means that is more than one, when it's only one thing, because you don't step on two scales, you step on one scales. So why is it scales? So we're back in the funeral place. I believe we behave very respectful, and I will not show you the dead body. It's okay if I walk through that event, but let me decide last moment. Okay, I cannot walk through here. Maybe they're clearing the space here, so I believe I can. Can I go through? Thank you. Yeah. Oh, quite a large audience. The person who passed away here, many friends. Did you see? You better prepare for your own death. Then you have it as you want it. Now to the measurement with my bathroom scales. What it does, it measures not only the body weight, but at the end of the body weight measurement, it sends a number of electrical alternating current signals to the body in high frequency, means some kilohertz. And it measures the echo. It's quite a complicated measurement. And it's not the place here to explain. I could, but what is important is that by calibrating this with lots of participants and classifying the results, you can give a comparison of body fat and muscle mass that you have measured with other methods. And here's the problem. This is a very funny evening. Lots of difficulties. I receive phone calls and just when I wanted to tell you more about how to use my bathroom scales, then my flat phone died because of a empty battery. So I'm now running the phone on my power bank, and I hope that it will not die. So the problem with the bathroom scales is a measurement device. And whatever we measure comes with a measurement error. And when you do scientific studies, you're required to look at the error of the measurements before you use them for your testing your hypothesis. And I must say that my bathroom scales is quite nice. It measures the weight according to 3 digits plus maybe half a digit, because it doesn't, the body weight can only jump in multiples of 200 grams, of 0.2 kilograms. So it gives you, in my case, 106.0, 106.2, 106.4, 6.6, 106.8 and 107.0, but nothing in between. That's half a digit precision, I would say. Is it half? Or maybe a fifth of a digit precision. I've never checked the precision of the, precision, the display is like that. The precision of the scales is another story. I don't want to go into that, but what I can tell you is that the body fat measurement and the muscle measurement is measured according to 0.1% precision. No, it's not precision, display precision. So there's some measurement and it's output in 3 digits with a comma after the first 2 digits. Oh, very loud. And here you understand better what is the display precision and the measurement precision. When the display may output a fat percentage with 3 digits, something like, I don't know, let's say subcutaneous fat 20.0%. It says nothing else than the circuit that measures your body fat produced an output value that has been calibrated as the same percentage. But the measurement value could have been obtained and influenced by a number of things. When, for example, in one measurement, your feet and hands were wet, and another measurement not. So it says nothing about the actual fat in your body. It's just a measurement value that is somehow displayed. And I really don't think that we should take those measurements at face value. And I've seen my percentage, muscle percentage, changing from week to week, and it's 1% up or down. I would not trust my bathroom scales for $150 to provide a precise measurement of my body fat as you can do with a MRI scanner or a tomograph, computer tomograph. And there are other ways to measure fat, and I don't think it's a reliable measurement value. But of course, if you have 5% difference between two different times for the same body, and you repeat that measurement over several days and it's still 5%, I believe that's an accurate comparison. If the other environmental conditions are the same, like the room where you have measured that, and the humidity of the air, the outer temperature, the temperature of the body, and so on and so on. So for guessing and measuring differences, I believe the bathroom scales are good. That's why I think that they are useful, and that's why I keep them in my toolbox for measuring my personal body values. But I don't think that it makes sense to use them for daily measurements, my bathroom scales. clock quite loud. So, I believe I'm there. What I can tell you is, in general, my bathroom scales measurements of last week and this week are more or less the same. My subcutaneous fat is the same. My visceral fat is the same. My muscle mass, the overall body is less, 1% something, and my muscle mass in the arms is up by 1%, which makes sense because I started training pull-ups. Now you know everything. Okay, so good evening to you from Singapore. See you next time. For today is really that's it. Goodbye.